let's get started then by simply saying thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. I really do appreciate it. It's an absolute pleasure on my end. How are you doing today?
Yeah, fine. Just finished my work today, and yeah, it's like every day we have full-time jobs, so yeah, happy to be in the interview now. Yeah, we had a release, as you know, last week, so that was a real impact, I have to say. Comparison to the other albums, it was a much bigger impact. I had the feeling. Especially regarding the reviews, the feedback on the social media channels, that was really huge, much more than the years before, I have to say. Yeah.
See, that's fascinating because I noticed that as well. And I have to ask them, in your opinion, why do you think this record is resonating so much more than perhaps any other previous release has?
To be honest, I don't really know, because I don't know if the album is really better than the albums before. Of course, we always try to increase ourselves and doing some better job and increase the sound and make something better. And we did more. We spent more time into doing social media stuff. That's for sure. But yeah, I don't know. It's this time the people are extremely at our stuff. We did some more music videos. Last time we had two videos. This time there were three. But yeah, there's not that big difference. But the impact on the people seems to be much bigger this time. Yeah.
That's fascinating. You kind of feel like, you mentioned a bit more on social media and the videos as well. Do you feel like you've pushed it, promoted it more than you've ever done any other record before?
Yes, I think Napalm Records, they have a new girl. She was into doing promotional stuff for us, and yeah, you are one of these guys. So she's doing a brilliant job. So we never had so much interviews for an album before. Yeah, I don't know how many we did already. I think between 30 or 40. In comparison to the last album, I think it was maybe the half or less. Yeah, but yeah, we also did more stuff on the social media channels. We had a good plan, but in comparison to other bands, they're doing much more. But really, yeah, increased extremely. So I have no real explanation for that.
No expectations either, I imagine. The amount of noise being made about it is just an incredible feeling, no doubt.
No.
So, considering it's been, I mean, less than a week since the release of the album Into Sorrow Evermore, that reaction, how does that make you feel though? Because it is incredible and it is heartening, but it is still very early days. Are you very much in the mind, well, let's see where it is 6 months down the line?
Yeah, for sure. Always interesting. Things can develop, but let's see. I think Imperium Dekadenz is not a completely new name. I think most of the people have heard the name and maybe visited a concert or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I have the feeling that much more people have a focus on us, and I don't know why. If there's something has happened during the last years, I don't know. Maybe the people are they need that music we are doing. I know that the mixture of the epic, melancholic, heart-touching stuff. I don't know. Maybe due to the war in the Ukraine or due to Corona. I don't know. There's something. A doctor could, or someone who has an academic grade, could figure that out for us. But yeah.
Well, in my opinion, part of the reason is because it is an incredible release. I absolutely loved it.
Thank you very much.
We gave it 9.5 out of 10, but even now I'm not entirely sure where the 0.5 got removed. It might as well be a 10 out of 10. So I'd like you to take me back to the early days of its creation, specifically a vision. Did you have a vision for what you wanted this record to be? And if so, what did it look like?
Yeah. We released When We Are Forgotten in August 2019. We did some shows and we had a brilliant tour with Haruna, another well-known band from Germany. And we had the show in Trier, and we went at home. In 2 weeks, there were another show in France, and suddenly all that Corona shit happened, and everything was cancelled. We're sitting at home, no party, not meeting friends. Our works were reduced by 50%, so sitting at home the half day and nothing to do, So what we do was taking the guitar and writing songs. So that was the big difference, I would say, to previous records. We had much more time, and and the whole time sitting at home, I also had some personal values I had to go through. I don't want to go deep into that. It's concerning health and stuff. Nothing that would kill me. No, I have to take that back. But it was a strange time, and I was really upset because I love to go outside, going to clubs, going to concerts, and it really pissed me off. And our idea was to increase that melancholic mood, It was already present in all the other albums we had. It's a typical thing for us, but now we had the feeling to increase, to pull the gear, for the melancholic channel. So that was the main goal, I would say. We want to be more black metal because we had so much fun to listen to this old stuff. We ever loved the old Norwegian black metal bands. And so there was a wish to sound more like 90s black metal and the stuff, organic, but still dark. And I think we met that goal because I think the sound was is better than ever before. It's a mixture of this Manibus and When We Are Forgotten. So the strength of both take together. It's organic and have a good feeling. It's not exhausting. Listen to it like When We Are Forgotten, but it's also dark and it's the guitars sound like a wall, but are not that exhausting. So like on this Manibus. So I think that was the goal we had, and I think we did it.
You're confident you achieved it?
Yeah, thanks.
Do you think the record would exist as it does today if the last few years, the pandemic in particular, the forcing you to stay indoors, would you think it would exist as it does now without that?
No, definitely not, because as I said, we had much more time. We have full-time jobs, and the full-time job, it takes so much time and energy from you. You have also these duties everybody has, it fucks you off the whole time. So that generates hate, and you're feeling not comfortable, and hate has written so much cool metal riffs in history, but if there's no energy, you cannot do anything. So absolutely. So it's not a secret. We wrote more than 20. So we had a huge pool to select the perfect songs for that album. And we always say it's sometimes we kick a song outside of an album because the whole impression of the album is with another song much better than that song, which has maybe some cooler riffs or something. But yeah, we always want to try to that the listener has the impression to do a travel or have a journey and have these cool transfers or between the songs, you know, that you have the feeling something is lifted, or you're coming down now, or you're more to earth or up to the sky again. So yeah.
Was it easy to trim the album down when you have so many songs originally available? Was that process enjoyable?
Yeah, you know, we always had the problem that the length of the album is too long. So especially this Manibus, this is one of the most best examples, I would say, because the album, when you listen to it, it's fantastic. It's like we're sitting in a movie or looking a fantasy movie like Lord of the Rings or something, but we can only listen it one time because you have so many impressions and so much comes onto you, you know, you're feeling a bit exhausted. And this time we said 50 minutes, that should be it. Around plus minus is okay, but yeah, let's reduce it, be more metal. So first of all, we took away these acoustic guitar parts and, you know, this ambient stuff we usually have on all these albums, just being more metal. And we had also the feeling, yeah, it increases the atmosphere if there is not such a big difference between the songs. You know, it's still, everything is metal, I would say. And yes, it's always hard to kick out songs. You fell in love with parts and stuff, but this time we had the goal to be more on point. So I think we achieved it, and I think it made the thing much better, if you ask me.
Well, that's okay. Then there's plenty of songs for an extended edition 6 months down the line.
What do you mean? Yes, I understand. Yes, of course. Let's see. We are back in our jobs, so let's see how everything works. But usually, if I look back on the other albums we did, maybe the song ideas we take over to the other albums are maybe 5%, 5 to 10%. So it's not that much. But this time, let's see. There were so many great stuff we did. So yeah, I think there could 1, 2, 3 songs or song ideas been taken over to the next album. Maybe, let's see.
That's cool. That's cool to know. What about some of the more exciting aspects about working on this particular record? For you, what was particularly exciting?
I would say that we have the same workflow or the same process since 2 or 3 albums. So we have the same producer. It's Christoph Brandes from the Iguana Studios in Germany. He's a friend of us, so everything is clear before we start anything, you know. The only difficulty this time was, you know, last year in spring, we really had the plan to start recording and do all this stuff, but you know, from all the sides, people came because Corona ended, and everybody had to do a marriage to re-celebrate or celebrate the birthday, which could not have happened due to the isolation, and concerts, of course. You know, all these weekends were suddenly blocked, and we had to ask ourselves, what the fuck? We cannot record anything because all the weekends are blocked now. We were really pissed off, I have to say. And so this is usually we release an album every 3 years. So many people asked us, why are you so late now? It's a half year. So why 3.5 years? And I said, ask my family, ask his family, and all the people who want to marry and doing birthday and during the dates that were missed. So yeah, that was the most exciting stuff, I would say. Everything else is the same process, you know. It's good to have that because you can save so much effort. You know, you have to don't think about any steps which have to be when and who has to do what and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, that was the point. That's yeah.
It's a fantastic problem to have to say birthdays and marriages and stuff to be celebrated. It's a wonderful one to have. Aside from that stress and trying to get the recording time, would you describe the entire experience from the early days of the album work to now as being mostly relaxed and stress-free then?
Yeah, indeed.
Right.
Yeah, we feel completely free. You know, nobody had an idea how everything will be in 1, 2, 3 years. There were really dark expectations how everything will be. So we just had fun to record stuff and to send it to each other. Though everybody of us has his own home studio.
Mm-hmm.
So this is this is the way we are working. Everybody, Vespasian and me, we are doing song ideas and send it to each other. Some are celebrated, some are discussed, some are kicked away. So, but that's the point. We just had fun, and Corona 2020, Corona 21. So that was 2 years, did the same shit, you know. And we had a lot of time, and we had no plans, and just fun to record that stuff and to celebrate our songs and sit together, and yeah, that was quite cool. So yeah, but at the end, production has started, and Corona was ended, so we came back to life, I would say. So, and here we are again. So the usual process started. We went to the studio, recorded the drums, the guitars, and the voice was recorded by ourselves, and we bring all the stuff to the studio back, and then we did the mixing, mastering. So just to, yeah.
It's fantastic. I mean, just to have a nice, relaxed experience as much as humanly possible, particularly considering what was going on when it first started, work first started on the album, to then being able to do that is fantastic. But I have to ask, you've mentioned time a few times, the time you had to work on this album. Now, considering that going forward, do you feel as though you would always want that time again per album, per release, because of what it allowed you to do? Or would you prefer to stick to a more traditional route?
That's a nice question. Yeah, it would be great, to be honest. On the one hand side, on the other side, I was really pissed because there was no activities, except I love to be in nature. I was a lot in nature, so that was great. But yeah, that's the point. If you decide to be a professional musician, you know, I think you have a lot of time to record your stuff. But on the other side, you depend on the money, and depend on the money writes riffs and song ideas. So if an album will make a decision if you have a great holiday with your family in this year or not, I think this has an influence on what you are recording. And yeah, so Corona and the isolation was just the perfect thing for us, because yeah, we had our usual money, but we had the time. So if we decide to be a professional musician, we had the time but no money, and if we continue this, we have less time but the money. So I think it does not matter if an album of us releases in 3, 4, or 5 years. The most important point is that we are completely happy with the results, and that was the case with the previous album, I have to say, and that's the most important point. So we will continue that. Keep our jobs and just having fun, taking time that we need, and yeah.
everything you described there, the having fun, the taking the time and just enjoying the experience of Imperium Decadence as much as possible while living your own lives. Do you point as that as a reason why you've had the longevity you had? Because bear in mind, for those who don't know, this is your 19th year it's in existence.
That's true. Yeah. I think everything, or most of the band, is based on friendship. You know, when we started in 2004, we were just two extremely drunken students. You know, in our home, nobody listened to black metal, and even nobody would play in a black metal band. So we found each other, and we were happy that there's someone who likes to record black metal stuff, just sitting together, drinking a lot of beer, and that was the point everything started. And we never had the plan to be here today, to play shows, to make interviews with you, or taking part on big festivals and stuff, and doing all this crazy shit everybody's dreaming about when they start a band. So it was really just having fun, and I think that kind of fun is still there, because the part we love most of recording a new album is when each of us is doing ideas or creating ideas, and we send it to each other. We sit together drinking beer and stuff, and listen to the new material, having a good evening and good friendship, I would say. Yeah, that's the point. That's what we love most, and I think that has not changed over the years. And if we still have the power and the fun, that we will continue that until we falling dead from chair. You know, I don't know.
I love it. And here you stand in 2023, arguably looking brighter than ever before, which, talking of which, only in January 2023. So the year ahead, really, is the hope, the desire just to get out and play live?
Yes, it is. Situation became more difficult, I have to say. Yeah, every band is increasing their fees, and promoters getting afraid of doing concerts because people don't buy cards, because also the cards getting more expensive. Stuff is cancelled, and I have to say it's much more difficult to get new concerts, because too many people are afraid to do any risk.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have some shows already confirmed in Germany, but yeah, we are still looking for much more at the moment. And I hope that will happen. But yeah, I have to say, if you in the UK, we were only one time there. I don't know if you have visited us. We played in London and in Nottingham. Yeah, it was great. So for sure we'll come back. If there's someone, give us a chance. We sit to the plane and come over to the island. So
fingers crossed, and watch this space, I guess, as it's a long year to go. Okay, before we wrap up the interview, we do a little section called quick fire questions. Basically, a random set of questions pulled from over 200. So they could be anything and anything. And you're just going to answer them as quickly as you so choose. 1 word, 10 words, it's up to you. And they are very random. So we'll start off with, what is your favorite place that Imperium Dekadenz has played live?
To be honest, in Minsk, in Belarus.
Oh, wow. What a wonderful place.
Yes, it was just a crazy action. Everything was crazy. So it's a long story. So 5-10-year-olds wouldn't be completely too much. But that was a crazy event the whole weekend to travel that country, and it's like Back to the Future, you know, sitting in a time machine and traveling back to the 80s or something like that. When the Cold War was going on. Yeah.
Oh, wow. What is your favorite meal to eat?
I like the German cook, I have to say, and I don't know the the English word. It's flesh from the cow, and the flesh is very flat and it's rolled up.
Okay.
And there's vegetable and mustard inside, and you're doing, I don't know the English word, sorry. It's made of potatoes, these cubic, I know that. Oh man. It's a German, it's a traditional German food, especially for the South, and I love it.
Well, I'll have to Google that one afterwards.
I can say the German explanation. It's Rinderrouladen.
Fantastic. I have to look that one up. Okay, what's a band that you are really enjoying right now yourself personally? Just maybe a modern band that you're listening to and thinking they're pretty good.
It's a depressive suicidal black metal band called None, and the album is The Life Has Gone Long Enough.
Fantastic. Name a horror movie that scares you still to this day.
The Ring or Ring.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, I love that movie. Name a place.
The US version, I have to say. I know many people would hate me because of that, because many think the Japanese version is much better, but I like the US version more because it's much darker and So, okay.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That is a bit of a controversial subject when you prefer an American remake of a Japanese J-horror. People automatically get mad about it. But hey, it's your taste. If you enjoy it, that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Name a place that you've never been to on holiday that you'd love to go to in the future.
Greece.
Greece. Anywhere particularly in Greece?
No, great. I love visiting historical places, so yeah, it's quite fun that I haven't been there yet, but yeah, I would, these battlefields, these historical battlefields, and seeing these monuments, the Oracle of Delphi, for example, or something like that. So yeah.
Fantastic. Beer or wine?
Wine.
Okay.
But much better would be whiskey or.
Okay. Do you believe in ghosts or spirits?
Ghosts or spirits?
Do you believe in them?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Have you ever had I will have a great story here too, but that would go too far.
Well, I was about to actually ask a follow-up one, which in that it was, have you had an unexplainable experience?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
By all means, I'd love to hear it. If you want to share it.
Yeah, there's close to my parents' house in the Black Forest, in the woods, there's a castle, a ruinous castle, and I was there a lot of times when I was a child, and strange things happened there. For example, a friend of mine fell down from the wall. It is 5-6 meters high, and he came with his bag on a fallen tree, and he didn't move. He was like that. He didn't react or something. He didn't breathe. Everybody thought he was dead, and there was no movement. But suddenly he stand up, and he had not a single mark or something. He couldn't remember anything. He laughed, and that was completely scared. And sometimes I found some stuff of evidence that people doing rituals there. And one crazy stuff was we did a bonfire within the walls, and there was this statue maybe that big of Maria, the Holy Maria. And a friend of mine take it, and it was broken into thousands of parts, And 2 or 3 weeks later, I went there again, and the statue was exactly in the same place, and I found no evidence of any destruction of that statue. So, and I don't know. I think there is something, and it is known that there was a Celtic ritual place, and the castle burned down to the ground, and nobody knows why. And there was also a small village which completely disappeared in the medieval times. So,
Wow.
that's a strange place, and I saw and felt it by myself. And if you are there, you feel uncomfortable, I have to say. Yeah.
Wow, incredible. I almost want to visit, but then it's also incredibly, as you say, uncomfortable sounding.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, but
an experience.
Yeah, we still go there. And if you want to see it, by the way, you can just check out our music video for Bis ich bin, because that was the video I did, and we did some recordings there, so you will definitely identify it.
Oh wow. Okay, I think you answered this one. I think you answered this before when you talked about nature. A quiet walk in the woods or a lively party? What would you prefer?
Walking to the woods.
I thought as much. Okay, second last one. Favorite season of the year? Are you a spring, summer, winter, fall, or autumn?
Autumn.
Ah, all right. Okay. Does that tie into the kind of woods feel and that sort of thing?
It's a transfer from summer to the winter, and a lot of people getting depressed. But I love the feeling when you feel that you're going more into yourself and think about yourself and enjoying being outside, and the day's getting shorter. The air's getting better, and I love that, and also the taste of the fruits, and that's it.
Wonderful description. And lastly, and weirdly, this does kind of apply for maybe 2024, but anniversary tours. Is this something you think is a good idea or a bad idea?
It's a great idea, but I don't know if it will happen. Everybody in the band has a full-time job. Some of us have a family with children, but it's hard. But let's see if that could happen. I would love it.
I feel like everything's feeling really, really positive in the Imperium Dekadenz camp at the moment. Let's just hope that train continues to roll. As we already said at the start, and Horaz Evermore is less than a week old. Do go check that out. It is a generally stunning piece of work. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I really appreciate it.
Me too. Thank you very much for the interview and, of course, for the review. It was great too.
Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?